So in this video, we'll be learning the limiting reactant concept. So let's get started by understanding what it means. So let's say if we have three patties and 10 buns. So to make one burger, we need one patty and two buns, right? So if we are making burgers to the maximum, we'll be using all of these patties to zero, and per patty we are using two buns, so that will leave us with four buns with in extra. So this means that the patties are in limiting reactant and the buns are in excess. So this is the same concept in chemical reactions, yeah, by compounds or elements. So let's start with this example. So we are given the number of moles of PCl5 and H2O, which are reactants. So first step is to write these to find the number mole which is given in the question, but sometimes the mass is given, so you have to convert it. So here we have 0.25 and 1.5. Now next step is to divide these number of moles by the coefficient of the element. So here the coefficient is just 1, so it's just going to stay the same, and the coefficient of H2O is 4, so 1 divided by 1.5 divided by 4 is 0.375. So here we know that this is more than that, so the PCl5 is limiting reactant and H2O is the excess. So we are gonna use PCl5, so let's do that now. So now we can just find the moles of the other elements. So here it's just, let's find H3PO4 first. So it's 1 here. This is the method I used in my last video, so it's very simple. If you want to check that video out, you can also do that. So this is just cross multiplying, which is very easy to do and very easy to understand. So here the answer is going to be 0.25, since if we cross multiply to find this, 0.25 times 1 divided by 1 is 0.25, so this is going to be 0.25. And now let's do the same for HCl. So here it is 1 to 5. Oops, my bad, sorry, my handwriting is very bad. And 0.25 here and question mark here. And now if we cross multiply this to find HCl5, we will get 1.25. So 1.25, and this was 0.25, which is same. And to find H2O, which is the reactant, we need to find how much of it is reacting. So it's going to be 4 here, and the answer here is going to be 1. So 1 mole is being used, and we know that there is 1.5 moles. So we do 1.5 minus 1, which will be left with 0.5. And of course the limiting reactant will be used totally, so it's going to be 0. So this is the final answer. Again, I'm saying this, if you don't understand this cross multiply method, you can check my other video, my last video actually, which I explain this very well. So let's move on to the next question. So in this question, we are given the mass of NaHCO3 and H2SO4. So the first step is to always convert these to number of moles. So let's do that now. So here just doing mass divided by molar mass, and we get 0.17 and 0.05 for H2SO4. So now let's write that here. So now the next step is to divide by the coefficient. So the coefficient of H2SO4 is just 1, so it's going to stay the same. And 0.17 divided by 2 is 0.085. So here we know that this is more than that, so this H2SO4 is the limiting reactant. So now let's use that to calculate everything. And we are finding the mass of Na2SO4. So let's just do that directly. So now first step again is to write we need to remember 0.05. So this is 1 mole reacting, producing 1 mole. So the number of mole is going to stay the same. So we know that 0.05 moles is being produced of Na2SO4. So now the mass is very simple. We just need to do 0.05 times the molar mass of Na2SO4, which is 142, and this will give us the answer of 7.1. So this is the final answer, and this is really that easy. So in this question we are to find the maximum mass of H2O, which is this one. Let me just get my pen. Yeah, this one, which is produced by combining 61.9 grams of each reactant. So we know that 61.9 grams of each reactant is being used. So again, first step is to convert this into number of moles and find the limiting reactant. So let's do that. So we got 3.64 for NH3 and 1.93 for O2. Let's write it there. And 1.93. So now next step is to divide by the coefficient. So after we divide by the coefficient, so it will be 3.64 divided by 4, which will give you 0.91, and 1.93 divided by 5, which will give you 0.386. So we know that this is more than this, and this O2, 5O2 is the limiting reactant. And now we use it to calculate the H2O. So now just use the cross multiply method. So it is gonna be 5 here and 6 there, and now we know the number of moles of O2, which was 1.93, and now we cross multiply. So 6 times 1.93 divided by 5, which will give you 2.316. So this is the number of moles of H2O. So now just to find the mass, we times by the molar mass. So 2.316 times the molar mass, which is 2 plus 16, which is 18, and this will give you the final answer of 41.688. So 41.688, and this is the final answer. And if you have any questions, you can always ask in the comment section, and I'll be happy to reply. And that's all for this video, and I hope you enjoyed and understood this topic.